Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that can respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
One Razorback.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Hi, good morning, and welcome in. Halftime underway. This is a Wednesday, and you're listening to ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Did you like how I had to remind myself what day it is there, Matt Jones? It's the middle of the week. It is a Wednesday. Thank you for I thank myself just for being right here today on that.
Man, Hogs won baseball game yesterday. I gotta find out how that went for you, and then the portal. I think you called it. You said during the show yesterday.
That'd be another one. A starter. Okay, I think we all we don't know the answer to this, but we all kind of assume the first guy is going to be a role player, 6th, 7th, 8th guy that comes in. Is this guy we just got? Is he a starter or a role player too? No, he's a starter. I think he's going to be. They came off the bench for 10 games at Georgia, 21 starts, 17.4 points per game for Jeremiah Wilkinson. So he was one of the leading scorers in the SEC. His conference numbers. Matt's conference numbers were pretty much identical to his overall numbers. The guy shot 36% from three for the entire year. He shot 36% from three in the SEC, 79% foul shooting in conference, 79% foul shooting overall, and his scoring average was pretty much identical. So you get a guy who knows the SEC very well. He's actually played for Cal before. But I mean the Cal Golden Bears. He played at the University of California the first year. I think he's a starter. Bowser, though, I think is a depth piece.
I'm gonna look his stats up and see, how we're stratomatic your baseball game. We're just gonna look at the stats. I looked at the stats of the guy coming from Cal State Fullerton. Is that where he's coming from?
He's coming from Georgia.
No, the guy from yesterday.
It's Furman.
Furman. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna look it up and see. I know Georgia beat us.
That's right. There you go. He's already He played for a team that beat the Razorbacks.
They were 10-8. I like it, man. I like it when a guy plays 30-something minutes a game and the team's good. He was their best player. It seems like
we've got to get Christian the unit into the first presser that he's a part of. Well, we just need to get his opinion on Blue Cane.
Is he in the portal?
I don't remember if he's got any eligibility left. What if Blue Cane was going to be a Razorback? Would you be okay with this, Christian?
I mean, if he plays like he did at Georgia, then I would be.
He's one of those guys that you'd want on your team because he's got somebody else's skin under his fingernails from the other team. 6'1", Matt. So he's a shooting guard. He's not a point guard. He is a shooting guard.
Tells me Malik Thomas is gone. That's what it tells me. If I'm reading the tea leaves, because he doesn't pass the ball. Malik Thomas doesn't pass the ball. It doesn't mean he can't handle the ball and do things, but what you are is a scorer. That's what your identity. When I'm looking at this, it tells me Malik Thomas is gone.
Well, and also, look, even if there's still the chance of Thomas coming back, if you're Calipari and the coaching staff, you can't plan as if he's going to come back. You can't save a roster spot just in case, because if you declare for the draft and you're in the first round mocks, which he is for the most part, you have to act like he's gone. So that's what they're doing.
I worry about having JSJ and Jeremiah Wilkerson, two guys that are 6'2". I worry about defense already. Who can Jeremiah Wilkerson guard? We start looking. I'm starting to look. I like him. I'm excited he's coming here. I'm just saying let's don't get too ahead of ourselves and think that he's the savior.
Well, maybe Andrews and JSJ and Torrey are better defenders. I mean, Cal keeps calling them beasts.
You know, they're more beasts, I guess, than the average freshman. To me, that means you can play with force around the rim and in the paint. You can defend and rebound. That's what a beast would be to me.
He has over 10 games, Phil. Over 10 games this last year. He had 3+ steals. That's pretty amazing, right?
That's defense right there.
That's it can be fool's
go
gold.
both
It
ways,
can be
right?
fool's gold. We make the stats to fit our narrative. Let me look a little bit more, but I like that. I like 10 over. He played 30 something games last year, and over 10 of them. So he'd be a Hall of Famer by baseball standards. You know, he had 3+ steals, and that's one game he had 4. One game he had 6. Right now I'm looking at 7 games where he had 3. Oh my goodness, I like it. I like him.
I was also reading a piece on online by this guy named Evan Mayakawa. I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly or not, but he put together basically a college basketball computer program or app and analytics deal that college teams can subscribe to, and it's called Front Office Suite. It helps teams figure out NIL value of a player. You know, you enter what you're putting in for your NIL values for your players, and basically you can aggregate it together and figure out what players are worth. He's got 30 teams in Division I men's basketball that span 12 mid-major and high-major conferences. So he has, through right now, he has figured out, and I wondered if the idea of signing a high-level scorer in the SEC the same day that you sign somebody that's coming from a lower level and feels like a depth piece, the premium right now, Matt, in the NIL market is for big men. Centers, specifically small forwards, are getting about the same as power forwards. This is on average $1.3 million for centers in the NIL market currently, and a shooting guard makes a little over $900,000. So I think, you know, you're spreading it out a little bit more when you're going to go get a shooting. Now, I would think Wilkinson's making more than $919,000 because he's already shown he's a top-level scorer in the SEC. But you're spending more money in college basketball overall for big men than you are for high-scoring shooting guards.
You know, it's you try to equate it, to explain it to people how, you know, what you know, big men to guards, and where do you divvy the money up, and in football quarterbacks, you rush in, if you're going to look for a center, a defensive tackle, a linebacker, a wide receiver, and then they put running backs and tight ends last, I guess.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a college basketball team, here's the thing: guards are dime a dozen. You can find there's a lot of great college guards in college basketball. There's not a lot of great college big men. There's maybe 20 of them. So you have to get a guard. So if we're saying, and I like talking to you about how you build your baseball team and what do you look for? Is it pitching, defense, hitting, and what order you put them in? If you're doing a basketball team, point guard has to be number 1, and then number 2 has to be your 5 guy, has to be your big man. Who is your big guy? Who is the guy that can control the paint? It's very important. And then you kind of mix and match, like, who can score the ball, because what's the ultimate goal? Put the ball through the hoop. That's it. Who plays defense? Who's aware? Who has ball hands? These tall guys are told their whole life, oh, you're going to go play basketball. A lot of them don't even like basketball. Like, a lot of them don't have eye-hand coordination or catch the ball well. They just play because they're tall. So you kind of got to the big man is the guy you can't find. Those are the Tim Duncans. How many Tim Duncans has come through since
the unicorns, the real unicorns in
Shaquille
sports.
O'Neal, yeah,
the giants who
Oliver
can move
Miller,
like that.
right? Like I've seen them. We all know it when we see it. It's just there's not a lot of bigs out there.
I'm kind of coming around to the idea that, I mean, look, you're probably not getting one of the premier big men in the portal. I don't really know if that's the way that
Karl Anthony Towns,
that Cal operates.
Boogie Cousins. Like, you start going down the list, you would think that more bigs would want to come play for Cal. Look at all the bigs. Anthony Davis.
I mean, you're going to save a roster spot for your guys that are coming in from high school, but they don't have any of those guys that are first-year freshmen next year. That's the thing that's surprising about this. It's like, all right, well, you can't act like like you're hoping that Malik Thomas comes back, so you got to sign a guy who can end up maybe being your leading scorer anyway. But it's the same with Malik Ewan. And look, Ewan's not enough anyway. You need another 2.
I want Ewan.
Another 2. I mean, I'm fine with Ewan, but there needs to be another 2 at least.
I think 4. 4 was the number. I agree with you. Yep.
Well, you're not getting into a bidding war. Remember that. And if there are bidding wars for players right now, there are going to be more bidding wars for 6'11" centers, 7-foot centers that play physically than there are going to be for guys that score about 17 a game, I think. I mean, just judging by what this article by Mr. Mayakawa says, that's the premium. If you're talking about being, well, sports are copycat leagues. Every league is a copycat league. College basketball is too. What's been a defining characteristic about the last 2 national champions? And really the teams that have been in the Final Four. Older, bigger, better. Those things are going together now.
You know, yeah, what was that? Donovan Klingon that year. Then Arizona got us, Texas Tech got us, and so that's been our thing. Even when Muss was here, it's hard. There's what does Clay Henry like to say? The defensive ends don't grow on trees. You know, like, or is that Bill King? I forget one of those.
I think they both might have said it.
Big men don't grow on trees. That can move, have footwork, can have ball hand, eye hand coordinate. Like they're tough. They're tough to. Now you can get some that can pick and roll. Shoot to the rim, you throw a ball up, they catch it and dunk it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's a lot at Arkansas, right?
They can do that, though. There's a lot of them that can do that, and yes, let's get one of those. We need one of those. But a guy that can actually make the right pass, can. That's why Janai Broome was amazing, and he had a 28-inch vertical because he was a basketball. He could do all those things like that. You got to find somebody like that. I think if you're gonna cut down the nets again.
That's what Oscar Tshiebwe was too. That's what Jonas Aidoo I think was supposed to be until he had the injured foot, showed up on campus. You didn't have one of those guys this year. You just didn't. And then there's the other aspect of the transfer portal, Matt. You got guys coming, you got guys going. Carter Knox has committed to Louisville.
Ooh.
Now, you know you're not playing Louisville in the ACC SEC Challenge because you got him this last year. So at least you don't have to watch Carter Knox play against Arkansas.
They play a lot of guard play. He'll fit in well there. He'll fit. They're going to try to play 4 littles and 1 big. He'll be one of the littles that can switch a little bit on. Man. There's 99% of college teams want Carter Knox on their team. You know what I mean? Like Carter Knox is a dude. He's a guy. So good for. I just hope he can stay healthy, and mentally, I hope he checks in. And Duke can be a beast if he wants to.
Well, I don't know if he was interested at all in returning to Kentucky, where he'd initially committed to. But the idea of him now being a Louisville Cardinal after being an Arkansas Razorback and never suiting up for Kentucky, and right now those Wildcats, they're bringing players in. They're not signing anybody. They've had Tyrone Stokes in on a big visit right now, and the entire Big Blue Nation is ready to tear whatever is left of their hair out because they have no commits from the transfer portal. They have 0 commits for incoming freshmen. They've lost some of their best players this last year, either to graduation or to the portal, and now Carter Knox is a Louisville Cardinal.
Hey,
so they must be having a really good time. At least, well, the baseball team there was doing well. How's football? It's spring ball. Never mind.
I wonder, how I guess it wasn't so bad when John Calipari was your coach.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But 2 years they can at least, they can point to the one Sweet 16 and they're at 32. Who knows? They don't even have a team right now. They're in kind of the position, Matt, that Cal was in when he first took the job at Arkansas. All right, let me see the team. Well, there is no team. They don't have a team right now. At least Arkansas is putting a team together. Here's halftime for this Wednesday. Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner, fisherman Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon for a couple of hours. During that time, we'll talk with Dudley Dawson at 12:30. We'll get with Dudley a little bit on some portal questions that you may have. And once Clay's around, we might get into more of the spring football season because I think Clay may have had a chance to watch practice yesterday. In a moment, we'll get on the horn with Grant Hall, and we'll be taking your calls and texts all throughout the show on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. We're going to Grant Hall right after this break.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Down the line, a swing and a drive into right field. Back going Humphrey. Humphrey's at the wall, and it's gone. Davalon's hit his second home run of the game. Maxwell, a high fly ball to deep left. Could be trouble. Rigdon's at the wall. Get out of here. Maxwell's hit the second home run of the inning.
Listen to every
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Practice all the things I would say. She came over, I lost my nerve. I took her back and made her dessert. Why
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Grant Hall's with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline on a Wednesday, tax day, April 15th. Yes, let's celebrate, huh? Grant, I guess you can celebrate just being home after getting to the Masters. When did you get home, and how good does that feel?
Feels great. I didn't get home till yesterday because I took an extra day just in case I might get drawn to play golf. And they only took 20 this year, and so I didn't get to do that, but I did spend a few hours writing a column month, which I had a good time Sunday, just kind of walking down the back nine before play started and kind of seeing some different things, and it's just breathtaking in its beauty down there. It's so quiet, and as patrons jockey for position and put their chairs in the perfect spot, where can we see this shot on 15 and 16, and counting the turtles and betting on how many turtles there would be and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, Rory won his second in a row, and now people are saying he may be the best European player ever. I guess he and Faldo are tied with 6 majors.
That was first thing, and you're prisoner of the moment, Grant. As far as I was when we got on the air Monday, I said Rory McIlroy is a top 10 golfer all time. Is he there, or do you need to see more?
Well, Jaime Diaz, whom I sat close to in the press building this year and had a lot of discussions, he wrote this thing, and he is like the golf historian, and he's got him, I think, like 11th, 12th, somewhere in there, maybe cracking the top 10. Because when you start calling the roll, who do you take out?
Jack and Tiger are 1A, right? Like that would be the top of the pyramid. Then you go down from there. I'd say Rory's in that second group.
And some people like Hogan and Bobby Jones and people like that, but it's just such a totally different game now. But I thought when Rory won those 2 majors by 8 shots, I predicted he would win 10 majors. And then he went about 10 and a half years without winning one. And now he's won these 2 Masters. He's got 6. And you could tell by his comments afterwards that he's not done. He in no way, shape, or form is he through winning majors, at least that's what he'd like to do. And, you figure at 36, if he can stay healthy, and that's always the big if, he takes a mighty cut at the ball, as you know. If he can have 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 more years, who knows how many he might get to.
How many guys are going to do what Brooks Koepka did, what Rory just did? They don't care about the Live Golf Tour. I'm not saying they don't care about it or they don't enjoy doing it, but they don't prioritize it at all. It's all about the 4 majors.
Yeah, Koepka he probably wouldn't have gone to Live if he hadn't finished. If he was going to be 100% again, I think now he's close to that. So I think he shot 5 under in this tournament, but I'm sure he's gonna continue to prioritize these majors. I think he's won 9 times and 5 of them are majors.
Hey, speaking of Live Golf, I read earlier this morning they have some emergency meeting today with I guess there'll be some kind of an announcement. Here's the thing. Nobody talks about Live Golf anymore. They only talked about it when they started poaching golfers out of the PGA. Now they're losing a lot of those some of those golfers. And I don't know if anybody watches this. No one ever talks about it. You're right. It's all about the majors. And you think this could be the end of Live Golf?
I don't know what's going to happen there, Phil. Patrick Reed came back too, and he had a pretty good Masters. I think I've watched 1 or 2 Live events, parts of ever, and one was because it was in Tulsa. Of course, I had seen before, and mostly to hear David Fetterty, whose commentary I miss greatly, and I'm sorry he went over there to Live. Maybe he'll come back. Who knows? But yeah, that's interesting.
What's the thoughts on the Georgia point guard or Georgia shooting guard? I'm sorry, Jeremiah Wilkerson.
Well, they had a good day. Arkansas's had a good week, getting these guys in, and I think significantly getting the 6'11" guy. That's wouldn't you agree that that's kind of what they need? I mean, they need to get bigger and stronger inside, be more formidable in there, and losing Brazil and everything. So guards. I mean, Malik Thomas, I guess, is a wait and see, right? He's going to see.
I think he's gone. You think it's a wait? What's the chance? What's the percentage that you think he's coming back and going to be a Razorback next year?
Oh, I think it's fairly high, 40, 45%. It just depends on what grade he gets. I mean, but that's interesting that you think that. I mean, he clearly is a very good offensive player. Like so many of these guys, could benefit from at least another year in college, probably.
I don't think he should go, but I think he's gone. I think he should come back for another year. Yeah.
Well, it's another month until the combine. It's May 10th through the 17th is the NBA draft combine. He's going to be, I would assume, no matter what, he's getting involved in that. So I mean, you just have to right now. And I think Cal, look, I was just predicted that there's going to be another signing yesterday after Bowser because they signed 2 players on the same day last year. I just don't think they're going to wait around very much longer. Like, they're going to put this team together. They might save a spot. They'll save a spot for Malik, but they'll have a team ready to go without him.
And do you think Carter Knox was it kind of a Boogie Flan type of deal where it's like, here, you're going to kind of have to go. The same amount of money's not there for you. How do you think he's going to be at Louisville?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, he got injured, and I don't know exactly how serious it was and everything, but good luck to him. I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, it's just like Boogie Flan was a very good guard, and he Arkansas could have got some use out of him this year. But then again, what are you going to Acuff and Thomas and these guys? It's almost like you just have to keep clearing the deck for the next great 5-star if you can get one, and that's kind of where we are with the basketball now.
Well, now that you're back home, I'm assuming I'll see you this weekend at Baum for the big Georgia series. Here's how I view this week, and I saw something last night that tells me, yeah, they should be able to keep this going. Now, a win over UAPB, whatever, but the pitchers that had a chance last night, a couple of them looked, I thought, really good, and they just looked focused. I thought it was fine. But you just need to see it another week. Like this, it's not a baseball team, Grant, that you feel you can necessarily trust just yet. Another week of what you saw last week, and I think everybody may start to buy in.
Well, I really like that Aloy has got a couple of 3-hit games, and he seems to have his confidence again. And so, they're gelling. They're getting better pitching, better hitting, and I sat next to a guy named Lawrence Smith, who's 87 years old, and he's been writing. He's in Athens, Georgia, and he was telling me, Wes Johnson is the coach there, who used to be at Arkansas, and he used to be in the major leagues, and he's got Georgia going. So it feels like every week you're playing some new team that's highly ranked and has a great record and a lot of confidence. So that'll be a good series. Phil, I mean, what to you? I mean, you've been watching these games. What's been the key to this kind of sudden improvement, really?
Well, I think the first thing was getting the kind of start on Friday that you needed from an ace, from Dietz, and I think everything fell into place starting there. I think that the team didn't feel pressure to score runs because they trusted what they had from Dietz. And they trust what they have from the bullpen in the last 3 innings of a game. I think they believe they can outlast an opponent. That's what they did last week. So as long as they're still getting good starting pitching, Grant, and it's not like they got to go out and throw 6 scoreless or 7 scoreless. 2 runs, 3 runs, keep them in the game. And I think they believe that they can score against a team's bullpen and that opponents will have trouble doing
it's interesting that the three guys that were starting, they all ended up getting victories last week. Gackle got one right, and Fisher got one in a different way, so it worked out for them.
It's just weird sometimes, though, Grant. You know what it's like. Sometimes a team will show you what they're like and what their identity is and their personality early or in March. And I feel like, that's a reason why the football team, we kind of believed in what we were seeing that first month, and I think the administration did too, and that's why Sam was let go. But that just stayed the same the entire season. I feel like it takes a little bit longer for a baseball team's identity to really become established, and maybe last week that became established. So it's just odd sometimes, Grant, how sometimes a team can come together when you don't expect it, but that also goes along with the idea that some things can fall apart when you don't expect it.
Well, I mean, I saw how hard they worked in the off season and went to 8 or 9 of those scrimmages. And I thought they had a great chance to get to Omaha and do damage there this year. And so I was really surprised when they had the troubles. But it doesn't matter as long as you get it back in. And those were huge RPI type wins too, because Alabama had a great one, and so I think they're okay there now.
Yeah, they moved 21 spots up in the RPI. I don't know what happened from yesterday's win, but moving up 21 spots in 1 week is that's a lot. Grant, we'll leave it there. Always appreciate your visits. Thanks so much.
Thank you. See you later.
Grant Hall, Hall of Famer, joining us every Wednesday right about this time on Halftime. And we'll open up the Lewis Automotive Group hotline for you now at 877-377-6963. Remember about the Fence Man. If you got to protect what matters most, the Fence Man can help you with heavy-duty security fencing, powered automatic gates. They've got you covered anywhere you're listening to the show right now. The Fence Man will be serving you, and they've been doing it for more than 40 years. Custom built, built to last, free quotes, financing for 18 months. If you're thinking security fencing, think the Fence Man. Nobody builds it any better. 479-782-3936. TheFenceManAR.com. The Fence Man ain't afraid of no work. We'll be back after the break.
They out-toughed us.
This is Halftime.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Okay, team. Huddle up.
Why are you dressed like a hockey player?
Because America's energy security is on thin ice. We're facing an overburdened electric grid, rising fuel costs, and severe weather. But here's your power play. Propane. It's affordable, abundant, safe. Propane is reliable energy, even when the grid isn't. Advantage Propane.
Learn more at propane.com/powerplay.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Disappointment is a part of sports. As they say, you can't win them all. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. From both personal and professional experience, I know that the road to victory is not always a straight line. If you have found yourself in a rebuilding year, your spouse has entered the transfer portal, you've been benched by an arrest, or you're on the IR from a car wreck, I'm here to help. Custody, criminal, car wrecks. Mock Legal Solutions, 479-769-1505.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, could I have been a parking lot attendant? Could I have been a millionaire in ballet? Could I have been lost somewhere in Paris? Could I have been brother? Could I have been anyone other than me? Could I have been anyone other than me? Could I have been anyone other than me? Could I have been anyone except?
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Set and the 1-1. Stewart, it's a high pop. Short right field, the second baseman Grant has a play. Grant makes the catch. He dropped it. They say he caught the ball. Now Kojal coming in, and he scores. I think Camden was a little bit confused. He thought the ball was caught. Grant, I guess, caught the ball, then dropped it, reaching into his glove. Kojal, thinking it's caught, tags up and scores, and that's it. This game's over. The Hogs win it by a final of 12-2.
Yeah, that was a weird way to finish a run rule game. It was very confusing. The second baseman looked like he caught the ball. He's still on the infield, and as soon as the ball popped out, Cam took off. But they said he caught the ball, and Cam scored, and nobody expected him to come in, and that's how you finish a run rule win over UAPB 12-2. And I can't tell you how many different texts I got last night, Matt, from folks who were watching the game on the SEC Plus telecast about the field, the grass on the field. Now, everybody's, why does it look like that this year? It's looked like that every year since the ballpark opened. I don't know what taking care of a field entails 100%. I just used to watch the groundskeepers do their thing. I don't know any of that stuff. But all I know is for the 7 years or 8 seasons I worked at that ballpark, we'd play on brown grass sometimes. I literally saw some piece of equipment spray painting foul territory green once. And they played on that. So the pockmarks last night, that's just a little more of the same. What's that?
Spray painting fair territory. And there was a thing with some of the people that when you use your cleats on certain fields, and I didn't know this for years, but and then you learn things, but they make sure whenever you go play on the road and you play on somebody else's turf, you make sure you clean all that stuff off your cleats, because when you come back to you can spread it that way. And you don't think that, but that's very important.
Sometimes it's a fungus. You're told, hey, be careful. There's a fungus on the field, and they want you to clean your spikes off whenever you're done with the game. And I keep thinking to myself, because I've seen The Last of Us, I'm not going on that field if there's fungus on there, because that thing can take over my brain and turn me into a zombie, and then all hell breaks loose. So let's keep the fungus off the field, pretty please. You know, the other thing, the Travelers have never played on a good field. Never. The old ballpark, Matt, this was hilarious. The old ballpark, the last year, 2005 or 2006, I don't know why, but they just didn't cut the grass very much. And the grass was as hard as like the thickest brush you've ever tried to use in your entire life. I would see guys hit a ground ball. Nobody back then in 19 years ago or 20 years ago was using the term exit velocity. They would just say, boy, I think he hit the ball really hard. So he hit the ball really hard, and the third baseman, anticipating to make a diving play to his left till the hole at shortstop, would try to make a diving play. But the infield grass was so thick it would slow the ball down to where the ball would be slowed to a trickle, and it would go past his feet. I saw that happen twice. So, yeah, maybe you'd be a little bit surprised because you look at a professional baseball field and it is in horrendous shape, but don't be surprised because that field has always been in horrendous shape.
Will they play there again next year?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They'll play there every year. I think I talked with Dave a little before I interviewed him and just asked, because for the players, most of those guys, like that's an eye-opening experience for them. They play at Bob Walker Stadium, and that's eye-opening enough.
Yeah.
You come to Dickey Stevens, and there's 9,500 people there, and not a lot of them get a chance to go up to Baum. So to me, it's like a way to help connect for a lot of those players who may never have been to the state of Arkansas before joining the Razorback baseball team. That helps you connect the fan base in ways that we already appreciate and understand, and also in things that Dave Van Horn understands. But he's been going there every year but two since 2010. And, it is travel. It is a home game on the road. And the team did have to, as I understand, pull over last night on the way home because of a tornado warning. So there was another extra 30 minutes tacked onto the drive back to Fayetteville. But I can tell that they love it, and I can tell that they understand the meaning of it, because this never happens at games at Baum, which is wild to think, because we get really rabid fans that want autographs down the right field line when the game is over. But when I'm done with the broadcast, the autographs have been completed in Fayetteville. Last night, and this happens every time we go to Central Arkansas, I'm packing my equipment up, and they're still signing autographs. And I'm done packing the stuff up, and I'm walking out of the ballpark, and Dave Van Horn, and I think I saw Camden Kojal, Souza, and Helfrich still signing autographs until the last person got their request filled. Dave's, taking photos with kids and everything. I love it. I love seeing that. Well, to me, that means they understand. It's not just go win a game. There's an assignment there. Connect these two places.
You sound like 100% of Arkansas 25 years ago with War Memorial Stadium. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 20 years, because that's exactly every single thing you just said right there. Put that to War Memorial Stadium when Coach Nutt was the coach. And it's not even a thing. It makes me sad. Last year was the last game they played there, and just for that, all that passion, all that heart, there's just as many football fans that goes for them too. But for some reason, it doesn't. They don't play there anymore.
Well, I think I do think we've seen our last Razorback football game at War Memorial Stadium.
It was a sad day. Celebrate it, but it was a sad day, man.
But there's always that debate. We thank God we don't have to do that debate anymore, truthfully. There is no debate.
Well, I wouldn't have even been playing there until they got grass field. There's another ways to go about it. The field wasn't up to par, and there's a lot of other things to do. But if you got grass field, I would like for them to try to figure out a way where you could play Arkansas State once every 4 years. I like that. Something like that, just for just everything you just said right there. There'll be a lot of kids like that. That's the only time they'd get to go see. And then you're keeping it in house.
Yeah, but the baseball thing will continue until that ballpark doesn't exist anymore. The crazy thing is, you go back and look in the history, in the Razorback Media Guide, and there is a series that Arkansas played Texas at Ray Winder Field, a 3-game weekend series against Texas. Now, of course, they were playing at George Cole Field back then, and they didn't have lights. What did Ray Winder Field have? Lights. They might have wanted to play some night games against Texas then. But that's wild to think that you actually moved not just a weekend series from Fayetteville, but a Texas series from Fayetteville?
Never again, huh?
No, they get one game a year in Central Arkansas. And and what happened last night never happens there. 12-2. All the games are usually tight, like 7-5 or 2-1 or 3-1. Seeing it 12-2, that's really rare. But what isn't rare is seeing the place completely packed, no matter what the team's record is. Even in 2016, the team wasn't all that good. By the time they got to Little Rock that year, they were playing well. It's always packed. The crowd is always moving, and they stay to the very end. And the autographs are my favorite aspect of it. Absolutely my favorite aspect of it. Gavin likes your idea, Matt. He says every year there's a presidential election is the year that Arkansas plays Arkansas State.
Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, governor election, however, whatever you want to do.
World Cup.
I'm with, there's but not in America though. But there's World Cup every 4 years. But that would, just for everything you used to hear that passion and that talk 20 years ago, about the Razorback football team and playing in War Memorial and sometimes, Phil, we would play a non-conference game. My freshman year, we played 2 games in Little Rock. We played a conference game and a non-conference game.
I remember.
They're not playing conference games anymore, but it was a lot of it is for that, the things that tug at your heartstrings. And so I would love because you play the game. It's a kid's game, and you play for the fans, man. It's enjoyable. It's something to do, and it'd be cool if they'd find a way to play once every 4 years or so.
See, and I think a lot of folks, when it came to the War Memorial game, once you stopped playing conference games there, it lost a lot of importance. I mean, then the crowds got down into the 30,000s. The last conference game, I think, there was 2019 Ole Miss. And I don't think the crowd was great that day because it didn't stop raining all day or all night. It doesn't matter who the opponent is at Dickey-Stephens, just like it doesn't matter who the opponent is when the men's basketball team goes to Simmons Bank Arena. They're going to sell the place out. It's the one chance to see them, but you don't care who it is they're playing. Like with football, you did care who it is that they're playing. More text coming. Do you think the Travelers leave Little Rock next year? Chandler asks. I had a conversation with Lance Restum, who works at the Travs, has been there for a long time. He started to put some of my concerns, ease them a little bit. You know, the idea of the new ownership that owns, I think, 38 minor league affiliates. Major League Baseball probably isn't going to take an affiliation away from them. It might have taken it away from the local ownership because they didn't have that kind of cachet with Major League Baseball. So I hope that the city leaders in North Little Rock don't want to be the people that lost professional baseball. So I'm starting to think that that they will stay in Central Arkansas for the foreseeable future. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You can get over to Crabtree RV Center anytime if you're looking to purchase an RV. There is one on the lot that fits exactly what you're looking for. Just go and speak to the outstanding salespeople where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma at Crabtree RV Center. You're always going to be working with one of the top-of-the-line sales and service teams, and you can find personalized financing as well at Crabtree RV Center. Look online at crabtreerv.com. Crabtree RV Center is making your dreams come true. We'll be back after the break and wrap up hour number 1. This is Halftime.
How about my wife's cookbook? Eat like the hogs, man.
This is Halftime.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
It's Kubota Orange Day sales event at Gray Brothers in Fort Smith and Poto. Whenever you're ready, we're ready with Kubota equipment in stock. Hay equipment to zero-turn mowers and Kubota tractors. From the small subcompact DX up to the large Kubota M7 cab tractor and everything in between. Why wait? When at Gray Brothers, it's in stock and on sale. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a limit.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Looking for a fun way to get your kids outside and learning a new skill? The Ben Guerin Youth Golf Academy is teeing off March 24th, open to ages 3 through 16. This exciting program teaches the fundamentals of golf in a fun, encouraging environment for beginners and young players of all skill levels. Spots are limited, so don't wait to get your young golfers signed up. And while you're thinking about golf, Ben Guerin Golf Course is still offering 2026 annual memberships. Enjoy a year of great golf at one of the most played golf courses in the River Valley. Call 479-646-5301 or visit Ben Guerin Golf Course today to learn more and register.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, get $100 off an Ego 56 volt trimmer and blower combo, or buy an Ego 56V Select cut walk behind mower and get a free battery, a $329 value. After instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Evan Cohen here. You know the feeling when a candidate just stands out. Not just a resume, but their energy. They're eager, engaged, and you know they want the role. That makes a difference. If you're hiring, you want a candidate who's passionate, but you can't get that insight from a resume unless you post your job on ZipRecruiter. Their matching technology finds qualified candidates fast, and ZipRecruiter has a new feature that shows you the most interested qualified candidates first. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
The best mornings start with Wrangler. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, hang on to this, buddy. Baby, come back home. It's so cold, dark here all alone. You come back, I promise I'll be good. You come home, baby, I laugh like I should. I laughed when you packed your bags, told me goodbye. I hollered, I don't need you more, honey, that's a lie. Please, baby.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Let's take a phone call on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, wrapping up hour number one. It is Bobby in Cave Springs here on halftime. Bobby, what's up?
Oh, man, I really enjoyed listening to you for the game last night. You know, Little Rock's your hometown. You could tell that. You could tell you were happy to be there. The game was great. Things were going well. And I didn't have to match up the radio with the TV. the thing at the end of the game with the fielder, he's wanting the out, which is natural for a fielder. He's looking at the umpire saying, I dropped it when I was taking it out. No, son, you can't say that because then we win the game. If you say, I never caught the ball, then we've got to go back to third base. We got to play again. But you lost the game by claiming to have an out. And I don't think he caught that ball. Did you think he caught it?
It didn't look like he had it to me. I mean, what constitutes a
No,
catch?
and I was like,
don't know what it did for him. It didn't look like he caught it.
I was like you. I thought the umpires were going to come by and come together and talk about it. Instead, they were headed for the exit. And really, the game was over. But
good.
Man,
The
you
last
can't
thing we
do that.
needed was a review in an 11-2 game. That was the last thing you need. Let's just at that point, it's like, okay,
Yes, sir, that's right.
catch it or drop it. Can we just score the run? Let's go home. Let's get the autographs done.
That's right. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, good to talk to you, Bobby. See you this weekend. Or I think you'll be listening to me this weekend instead. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. There is a thing about having the run rule in college baseball, Matt, and it's different. Like there is no mercy rule in football, though we've seen them do the running clock. There's no mercy rule in basketball. Sometimes I really wish there was. In baseball, with the run rule, I guarantee you'll see pitching changes by a team where the coach is like, can we please end this game now? I'm going to throw my worst guy out here. Just go ahead and give up a 5-run homer. Let's end the thing, please. It looked to me like they wanted to get off. They wanted to get back to Pine Bluff. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's no it's what's that, 4 in a row though for the Hogs baseball team?
That's 5 in a row.
5 in a row.
6 of 7.
Let's go.
That's a real streak. 2's not, 3 is, 5 is a legitimate, real winning streak. You're taking on a team, Matt, that is at 100 home runs this year in Georgia starting Thursday. You know what they didn't do last week when they lost 2 out of 3 to Florida? Not one. They didn't hit a single home run in that series. Keep them in the ballpark. You can beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Florida did that.
Let's go baseball.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry joins halftime for the remainder of the show when we come back, and calls and texts are coming up as well, plus Dudley Dawson at 12:30. This is halftime.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel. 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual.
Now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford, as well as heavy-duty diesel repair and diagnostics.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be across the north. Our high temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80. Showers and occasional storms tonight, and overnight low in the low 60s. And then we will see a chance of showers, a few scattered storms on Thursday, a high just over 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
What name of one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones? The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
12:01 in the afternoon. It's halftime, and we are back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I don't think our 99.5 affiliate signal is working. Chuck and Bo were off the air today, and I was unaware that there was a power-packed storm that came through northwest Arkansas, and apparently it forced the Arkansas baseball team bus off the road for 30 minutes because of a tornado warning. So they got back a little bit later than anticipated. Today's a workout day before the series with Georgia starts, so it's also a presser day. I think Dave would have had a press conference by now, and so maybe there's some things to report back from that. Matt, I forgot to ask you on the air here. I know you were super fired up for Champions League yesterday, and Liverpool and PSG were playing in the second round of the aggregate. Liverpool was down 2-0. What happened?
Hugo Ekitike, he's a French international, tore his Achilles.
Ouch.
In the 22nd minute. PSG's the defending champs. They really don't have a weakness. Dembele just kind of did a little crossover, left-footed. It was a sick goal. Yeah, the better team won. You get Bayern Munich and Real Madrid today in Germany. Bayern Munich 2, Real Madrid 1. Get out of here. That's what I'll be doing from 2 to 4.
Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner Clay Henry joining us, too. He also knows some of his stuff about soccer. Did you have any inkling about the match that Matt just brought up there? Because he sounds pretty fired up about it, just like he was yesterday.
I knew that they were playing. I didn't know if it was today or not. Yeah, I get my soccer updates, hang out with my daughter Sarah. Spent the night at her house last night. She had Japan and USA women playing in Seattle in the rain. I faded. I didn't make it to the second half. So she played college soccer, and, there's a lot of soccer talk. Matt, you would enjoy the visits that we have. And, it's fun to watch a game with somebody that understands and sees, has a vision for the game. Like you learn, it's like she'll see something happen and it's like, well, this is about to happen. And it always does. I mean, it's like But we're not going to talk a long time about soccer, though. I don't want to.
No, we won't. But there was one thing I wanted to bring up. Did you see that FIFA announced they've banned tailgating at all of the American stadiums for this upcoming summer's World Cup? And it's just thinking about what is American sports without tailgating? Even a crowd, even like a college baseball game that's got 18 people at it. 5 of those people are sitting around a truck drinking beer together. This flies in the face of what American sports is about, and the only thing I can think of is that there's security purposes for this. Maybe with the war that's happening in Iran, because otherwise I would have assumed that this might have been announced earlier. I don't think that's a coincidence. Those two things, to me, I think go together.
Sarah and I went up to Arrowhead and watched Sporting KC and Inter Milan play, so we could see Messi and all of Messi's buddies. Luis Suarez and those guys, Jordi Alba. And the tailgating was just massive for that game. And of course, Arrowhead is the world's greatest tailgate. I mean, the parking is just, it goes on and on and on. They have parking for both those major league stadiums right there. And that was a big deal. But one of the things that we saw where there were a lot of people that, it was a sellout. There were a lot of people that came for the tailgate and hung out there. They didn't have tickets.
Right.
So that's
tailgating
one of the
is
things
free.
that they
The
don't.
game is not.
That's correct. Well, you have to pay for parking, but it's just by the car. So and they had TVs set and they set up and they watched the game there, and I think that might be to diffuse some of that. I don't know.
Well, I also saw,
but it's got to be security. There's no other reason to do it.
I also saw where you will be unable to park for any of the matches at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and so fans have to take the train, and a special train is being put on the rails by New Jersey Transit. It's going to cost $100 a ticket. It's usually $13 to make that same trip from Penn Station to MetLife Stadium. It's going to cost them $100 on top of the thousands of dollars you've spent on these crazy ticket prices.
Sounds like scalping to me, Phil.
It sure does, but it's scalping. But I think it's like FIFA's prices is what it feels like it's coming to. Anyway, there's a lot of other things to get to, but I did want to ask because that was an important thing for you yesterday, Matt, and it didn't work out very well.
Well, Hugo Ekitike he would have been a player for France. They're probably the second, third, first, whatever way, how you want to do it. They're the top 3, top 4 world soccer power. So they're going to be missing him, but they'll still, even the backup for him is better than the best American player. That's kind of what we're playing with. It's like we got Arkansas Tech players and we're trying to go play against Duke. It's like, we got Weston McKennie and Christian Pulisic. We got a couple guys that play over there, but it's like three scholarship players, We're like Arkansas's defense last year.
Well, preseason exhibition jamboree, I think, is what you're describing.
Hey, the thing is, you look at our matchup, there's only one game that really kind of scares you as far as our round robin play that we should make it through. We should make it through that.
Well,
it's like it'd be like Barton traveling and playing at Fayetteville High.
Oh, I see what you mean. I got you.
Class A against Class 7A.
That's right. Would it be, does that
been like last night's baseball game? Who did Arkansas play last night? Who was the baseball team?
Pine Bluff.
That's exactly what. That's
the Golden Lions.
We can score. We can do a little.
The wild thing. It's like, so the league they play in, and they're in 4th place in their league at 10-6. The league that UAPB plays in, first place, is Bethune-Cookman, and Bethune-Cookman last week beat LSU on a Tuesday, and last night they beat Florida, which had just taken 2 out of 3 from Georgia and had been playing their best baseball. Bethune-Cookman. I think they're one of the 30,000 different teams named Wildcats.
If you can play defense, you can win in soccer. You might have Tim Howard might have to stand on his head like he did against Belgium, and then we still lost. But it's like he might have to. Our goalkeeper could have 21 saves. It's you play a little defense.
For me, is if you can hit the ball, you can beat somebody. And I think that Bethune-Cookman can hit a little bit. I'm not sure about UAPB's ability to hit very much. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We have Clay with us throughout the remainder of the show. Clay, a lot to react to. You had the baseball win from yesterday. Carter Knox committing to Louisville. Hogs getting 2 commits yesterday for men's basketball. Shooting guard Jeremiah Wilkinson. I guess I'm not sure if Bowser, is he a 4? Is he a 5? Probably a depth piece. I know you had a chance to go watch football practice yesterday, so we've got a lot we can touch on. What's top of mind for you?
Oh, I had a blast at football practice. I was got to see the whole practice. That was a gift from Ryan Silverfield. Got to visit with him just a little bit, and I'm tickled to death to watch. And got to spend some time with Kenny Sandlin and kind of got his take of what the linemen look like. I trust the eyes of somebody like that. It was an all SEC
He's a great
player.
teammate. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, need a few Kenny Sandlins, don't we, Matt?
Oh, man. Kenny Sandlin was the man.
He was a rock in there at guard. Played center too.
Smart, just a yes sir, no sir guy. Did his business. Great. One of my favorite teammates.
Yep. We talked about y'all's time together, and got to catch up a little bit. But it's what I saw was intensity and physicality, and it looked like a much deeper roster. They've got enough defensive linemen. I didn't see what I wanted to see as far as speed in the defensive line, but there was some. You'd see Quincy Rhodes, a couple of others, but it's they looks like they might need a couple of more at linebacker. That was kind of a thin look there. I like what I saw from their linebackers. I think they got enough numbers in the secondary. I'm not sure I can see enough in one practice to say all that. The guy that stood out to me that could be a difference maker, and that's what we thought he was when he went to Missouri, is Courtney Crutchfield.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought he did have like 1 catch, maybe 2 catches last year.
Yeah, he was at over 200 pounds, and he's at 186 now. He looks like a basketball player. He's really thin, but he's got that quick athletic twitch. The little blur that that you want as a playmaker in the SEC, and his jumping ability, and I think that he looks like he's having fun and gaining confidence. And the coaches, I think, are confident in him, and so are the quarterbacks. And I think that was one of the things that stood out to me. And he just didn't look the same. He was just totally different. The thing that in the SEC is speed kills, and he had gained weight and strength, and to the point that he didn't have that great twitch speed thing that made him special as a high school player.
And I think he was thinking a lot in the Petrino system. He's the type of player that you just tell him what to do. You just say, hey, go do this, and he can win. I do think a little bit of that. He's more comfortable. He's been going, and if he's a player that he's thinking while he's running, he's not going to be as good. You just say, hey, go run a post, go run an out, go run a curl. You just kind of tell him what to do.
So having said what you just went to, the Petrino system is all about option routes. It's the triple option in the passing game. That's the way he always explained it. He was a wishbone quarterback. I don't know if people realize that, but his dad ran the wishbone. Both he and Paul ran the triple option. And he says he's just switched that into the triple option in the passing game. Well, that means everybody's got to be on the same page, and they've all got to read the same things because it's all option routes. And, the defense does this, you do that. Well, you make them wrong, but that is really complex, and the reading part slows everybody down. And what I saw yesterday was anything but that. They were they knew what they were going to do on each play. And I think that's going to be an asset going forward. Looked like their splits were a little tighter. I thought their splits, both with Kendall Briles and with Petrino, were so wide that teams could shoot gaps. In other words, sometimes they could shoot 2 guys through a gap. Well, they're going to make you wrong. And I think a lot of the sacks, and they're just tighter. in this offensive scheme, and I think that's going to help them in pass pro.
877-377-6963. If you want any football talk with us, Charlie is on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Tuna, good afternoon. What's up?
Man, you guys are speaking my language, talking some football, talking some baseball, Matt, I'm trying to get into soccer. Okay, I'm trying.
It's okay.
But when I
Now's
watch
not the time.
live,
It's got to be during the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll tell you what, the Masters the last couple of years, I've really been tuned in. So, definitely enjoyed it. But anyways, I was going to comment on something you said last segment, Phil. It almost makes me think of when you were talking about, hey, let's keep the ball in the park this weekend when we play Georgia. Can the wind be blowing in their face, or can we get the wind to go our way when we're up to bat, some stuff like that. It's kind of like
maybe there's a way to get maybe there's like a vent at the food factory across Razorback Road that you can turn on and blow in from left field when Georgia's batting. The Twins used to do that. The Minnesota Twins used to do that at the old Metrodome. There's proof of this from the guy who used to run the stadium. They used to turn the vents on and blow in when the opponent was batting.
Well, hey, look, at the end of the day, we do got to go out there and execute, pitch well. Don't leave hanging, breaking balls up there, things like that. But look, man, if we go out there and play the way we're capable, we got a chance. And the deal is try to take 2 out of 3 if you can. But hey, I mean, it's getting to the point. I think we've won 5 or 6, 6 or 7, whatever it was, and maybe you start looking at this team. Okay, what are they right now? Instead of looking at hey, where are they right now? You got Ruiz back. You're starting to get the more consistent starting pitching, Phil, as you have touched on, and that's big. And I wanted to comment on something, Clay, that you were talking about. Obviously, this is way more of a heavy RPO offense that we're about to see. Matt, I wanted your take on this too. When you think about that, obviously we're talking about a numbers game here. The defense really can't be right. And, if you just say you're 3-by-1, you got 2 DBs over there, you're throwing the screen. How much do you think that helps? Because Clay talked about it being more simple. It's not like we didn't see enough of that. With Kendall we did. We saw a lot of RPO reads and stuff like that. Now, also, Clay, are they as heavy in tempo as Kendall was, or is it a little less as far as the tempo goes?
Didn't see anything that would indicate tempo yesterday, but, they weren't scrimmaging. So,
okay.
It's, you're coaching between plays. They didn't lay the ball down. There's, when you're just running plays, you're not running tempo.
Okay. Okay.
So I couldn't tell you that. I don't think they're heavy tempo. But it's yeah. And as far as RPO, you're only as good as your quarterback and experience. And
I believe in this group, though. I think they're going to figure that out before
the group. The guy that's going to play is KJ Jackson. Just write that down. He'll be the quarterback. It's not a group; it's him.
Okay. Well, and I'm with you. I think he's the guy that wins the job. And look, hey, it's a good thing too, though, that they are. I think Mike Irwin said this. Like, hey, get the other guy ready because look. And competition doesn't hurt nobody. Let the other guy try to compete.
But if KJ need to have backups, you're right.
Absolutely. And as far as some other things real quick before I go, the D-line and the O-line, everybody's so worried about quarterback. I'm really not because I think when I saw a team go 2-10 last year with Taylor Green, I'm sorry, but Matt has said this a lot of times. If Taylor was on Texas, they probably would have had a way better year. And that's the way I look at it. It's about the D-line. It's about the O-line. It's about the depth. And that's what's going to be key for this team. I think KJ is going to be fine, as you said. Clay, I'm not worried about that. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
6 defensive linemen out of the portal, 6 offensive linemen out of the portal. You're hoping that things stick. I've read good things about the defensive line, so felt like that was the major. There were a lot of issues defensively last year, and that would have been near the top of the list.
That's where I spent my time. When they were in individual drills, I stayed with the linemen. 17 offensive linemen, 14 defensive linemen. And I'm not saying they're all maybe some of those guys are walk-ons, but they can put a 3 deep on the practice field. They couldn't put a 3 deep on the practice field last year. Defensive line, they couldn't put a 2 deep on the practice field. And they were really short on depth, and you could tell it in the second half. You could actually tell it, in the middle of the second quarter, that those guys were gassed, and they weren't winning enough battles up front. They couldn't get stalemates, and I think the defensive line might be ahead of the offensive line right now, and that's the way it should be in the spring. The cohesiveness of the offensive line usually doesn't show up until August.
877-377-6963 to call us or text us for the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. It's lunchtime. Get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina, because every day Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsa, queso dip, guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal, plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and much more. Always an experience that you won't forget at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex and even better service. 3400 South 74th across from Harps, joesfordsmith.com. We're back with more halftime after the break.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 cents with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo Dusted Crispy Chicken Nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E. from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
So get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Wits Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy, you call me up and ask me would I like to go with you and see a movie. First I say no, I got some plans for tonight, and then I stop and say alright. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little boy like you.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime. Of course you do. Our Halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Bath Makeover of Arkansas, 1-800-NEW-BATH. Call today. Bath Makeover of Arkansas, 1-800-NEWBATH. Now let's get back to Halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
Back on Halftime here, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Hall of Famer, Emmy Award winner Clay Henry joining us here. Arkansas Dave asked if there's any portal updates on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Got no updates right now, but that has nothing to do with whether or not something's going to come out soon, because I think Cal operates a little bit in the shadows. He also asks, is Acuff for sure leaving us? 100%, right? There is no way that Darius Acuff is not leaving Arkansas. We're just waiting for the inevitable announcement, Matt.
Coach Cal moves in silence like G's in lasagna.
That's exactly right. I thought I read yesterday a little thing on social media that he was in Lexington with Kenny Payne, and you should see the responses from the Kentucky fans.
I bet they're losing it.
Well,
right?
they're losing it because they don't have a team now, and they may lose out on the top recruit that they want to
Sometimes
Kansas.
the grass isn't always greener, especially that Kentucky bluegrass. It's they had a good thing going. I bet sometimes things run its course as well.
One of the guys that I spent 3 days with, supposed to be 5 days, but we got rained out in Michigan. It's a guy he's a University of Michigan grad, but he's full-fledged Kentucky now. He lives in Lexington, and he said that all the, we're glad that he's gone talk, in the first month or even the first 6 months, all that has faded away except for a few crazies. So they realize what they lost, and it's for him to be there, ready to raid some of their players is the inevitable. It was just going to happen.
I don't know how many players they're down to here. While Cal is built, you're expecting you're getting Billy Richmond back. That's another announcement I want to see too. I want to see an announcement from Billy,
huge,
that he's going to be a Razorback next year, because that's somebody to build around. Obviously, you know who your incoming freshmen are. Great class, and we're still, is Ewan going to get? Is he playing next year? Do we have any clarity about this at all?
No, he's in the draft. He's going to go through that process, but I would assume that he's got to get that year back. I haven't heard an announcement over that. It seems like it's a given, but nothing's ever. I get surprised by more things than every day. But you assume that he's back, but I think it's going to take a few weeks, just like for Carter Knox, just to let it all play out. Last year we had to wait to see on Carter. Assumed he was coming back, but there was not an announcement until deep in May.
They lost a couple of their younger players to the portal, and I don't know if I say his name right. Andrea Jelovich transfer 6'11", sophomore to Ohio State. Colin Chandler goes to BYU. He's from Utah. I know, Jaden Quaintance was expected to be big this last year. He had an injury. He's declared for the draft. So I don't know if he'll stay in there or not. There's other players that
would be a massive get.
That were depth pieces for them that went into the portal. And they have no incoming freshmen. Zero. They do not have an incoming recruiting class. Got a text saying here that they think that out of the 918 area code, he thinks that Kentucky boosters have pulled some of their NIL money from the hoops program. Wow. Well,
it comes and it goes. Yeah.
Certainly does seem to come and go.
That can happen in any program. It's not a lifetime pledge. It's year to year. I think with success comes more. With failure comes less.
Well, what about the world you're living in now in college basketball where there's a 60 there right now? And I read this piece yesterday from somebody that does the research for this, Evan Mayakawa. NIL market is up 65% from last year. And if it's a power conference, the NIL market is up 75%. So essentially, you got to pay $1.75 million for a player you were paying $1 million the year before.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing. Now, if you say NIL, that's one thing. If you say revenue share,
that's different.
That's different. The revenue share, you can give them whatever you want. I mean, you don't. There's no, we're turning this in and it needs to be approved. So what you give them in revenue share is your 20 or 22 million, whatever that is, for your whole program, the revenue share. You assign that the way you want to, and you can give it all to one player, or you can split it up, among 14 programs or whatever you want to do. The NIL deals have to be approved, and the way it was explained to me yesterday is some are approved almost immediately, and then randomly the system, there's a, what do you call it, an algorithm that every once in a while kicks one of them out, and then it goes before humans, and they weigh whether that's legit. And you don't know when one of those is going to be pulled. Quite a few get pulled, and when they do, they might get kicked out. And then what you think you can pay a guy, it is crazy. So,
and the other aspect too is that I think that it's the College Sports Commission that you're talking about, that
correct.
NIL Go clearinghouse. I know I read about this where there's a group of Nebraska football players that are going to court with the CSC over NIL deals that were turned down.
Correct.
Right, because a lot of these come across as being no-show kind of a thing, and I guess that's what the CSC saw. But this could end up being the thing that undoes this CSC and undoes the clearinghouse potentially.
I think what will happen is that it'll just slow it down. There's not a court that's going to say you can't give those players that money. There's just not. I mean, it's just not. First of all, I mean, can you imagine, those judges in the state of Mississippi turning those down?
Right.
It's not going to happen.
That's what I mean. If you can't say no, then what's the purpose of the College Sports Commission to even exist? There's none.
Phil, I hate to tell you this, but you're on to something.
Well, and here we were being told.
That was brilliant thinking, Phil.
You remember it was like a year ago, and you're hearing on various shows, on various stations, that what you got to do for college sports to come to a place where they can settle into This is what it's going to be like, is revenue share. And what is it? It's now 10 months after that, or 9 months after revenue share actually started, and it's even weirder and more difficult to figure out. So revenue share literally did nothing to settle college sports down. The one thing, though, is that we wonder about NIL. Is there more NIL this year? Is there less NIL this year for your program? Well, revenue share increased. You know that. It did increase because that's sort of tied. I don't know if it's tied to the TV money, but that's money that the school makes specifically. Has nothing to do with the boosters.
Yeah, well, what revenue share did was cost thousands of jobs in college athletics.
I saw where University of California Athletics just over the weekend axed their entire communications and marketing department.
Purged them all.
All of them. Now they can reapply for jobs for a private company that's sort of taking over some of those roles, but it's not going to be everything that those two departments did. So I mean that's the first. There's going to be other jobs that end up getting axed pretty quickly too. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. A North Arkansas Regional Medical Center in Harrison. Second largest employer in the city with over 700 employees and over $50 million in annual salaries. Serve 5 counties in north central Arkansas, totaling 95,000 people, 18 clinics, including 3 rural clinics and a level 3 trauma center. You can learn more about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center at narmc.com. We'll be back with more halftime after this break.
Well, and I've called in here like super high, but that was after a dental procedure, not the other high.
This is halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
Live in the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, serving the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. Delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I've been thinking about what you have done to me. The damage is much deeper than you'll ever see. Hit me like a hammer to my head. I wonder were you pushed or were you led? Why did you do it? Why did you do that thing to me? Why did you do it? Why did you do that thing to me? Who knows the truth? Man, that's him, me and you.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
I thought he brought a lot of energy and enthusiasm to our pitchers and pitching staff, and we had a good year in 17, and we were right there in 18, obviously, and then he left. And the other memory is when he left to go with the Twins, how upset he was when he left, when he told me he's going to take the job, because I think he loved working for Arkansas, and I think he liked working for me because I let him work. And but I think he learned a lot of things too. You know, I think all good coaches learn from just being around other coaches.
That's Dave Van Horn last night after Arkansas baseball B2APB. And talking about his former pitching coach and current Georgia head coach, Wes Johnson. 2 years at Arkansas for Wes after, I think it was 1 year at Mississippi State. Now, you realize the Mississippi State Bulldogs, the 1 year he was their pitching coach, won the SEC regular season championship. And then Arkansas gets him to come over replacing Dave Jorn. He had a whole bunch of young pitchers for that 17 pitching staff. They grow into a host for a regional that year, national runner-up the next season. Talk about a star just absolutely catapulting all the way to the major leagues in a way that nobody would have anticipated. But it is interesting, too, that it sounded like it's like, how do you say no to a big league team, right? It's like if you would expect that you would never have that opportunity. That's why whenever Buster Posey went over to Tony Vitello and brought up the idea of being a big league skipper for the Giants, how can you say no? And Wes didn't say no, but he also didn't stay there for too long. I think he liked college ball just a little bit more.
I wouldn't want to live in Minnesota either.
Well, that may be part of it. I think it's the coldest state outside of Alaska.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's summertime when you're there. It's a little bit, maybe it's a little chilly in April. Wes Johnson was a delight. He was tremendous to work with. I think we forget that he's the guy that jump-started analytics at Arkansas. And that was his trademark, throwing the weighted ball, and which translated to more MPH velocity. Really, really refined, with analytics, the curveball metrics, like the sharpness of the break. He helped the pitchers here. But I think that Dave Van Horn probably wasn't all that into analytics until Wes, and I think he knew that was the way to go, and that led to hiring Matt Hobbs, in my opinion.
I think you're right about that. And it's interesting. I love talking to Dave about, because he's been a head coach since what, 92, 93? I think it was 94 was the year that he was the head coach at Central Missouri. So that might have been the first year, or maybe the year before Texarkana. Either way, the whole understanding of how you put a lineup together is different now than it was when he started.
Fully
so
embraced analytics.
Well,
yes.
look at the lineup yesterday. Damian Ruiz is batting cleanup. He is not somebody that you would profile. I'm guessing it's the first day in his career that he ever hit cleanup. But I asked him about it. He says, it's just the first time through. It's all right. Look, he's just one of our better hitters. I put him there because I had a lefty in front of him and a lefty behind him. But he's not a prototypical cleanup batter. You know what? Carter Rutenbar's not a prototypical leadoff batter, but he still gets on base, and there's winning games with him doing that. Why do you put him there? Because he gets on base. He doesn't run really fast. Somebody asked the other day, why do you have your best hitter batting second? Well, because he gets more plate appearances. Simple, just simple math. They weren't thinking about that 30 years ago. Now they're thinking about that. Sure. And look at all these different. Ruiz was the 8th different cleanup batter for this team this year. 8. I think the 7-hole or the 8-hole has had 9 different starters. Think of how many different lineups Dave has put together to try to figure out the recipe for Arkansas to win baseball games. And I would have to lose track. What was yesterday's game? It was the 38th game. They probably had 31 different lineups. It's crazy, and that's a hard thing to do every day. They're like, well, what do I got to change here today? And I think that deserves a tip of the cap, because sometimes the lineup writes itself. Like last year, I think you pretty much had the same lineup for the second half of the season, minus Sousa's injury. There just really weren't any changes. Why would you have changed that lineup? He's had to figure out what works this year. That's a real tough job for a head coach sometimes.
So I've heard coaches say this, and last year's team, 4 first-rounders, and made it pretty deep in Omaha. And you say, oh, he did a great job of coaching. And he did. But I think he would tell you last year's writing the lineup down and coaching really easy compared to what he's doing this year. I mean, it's like the stress and the frustration of, well, you think you know, but what you see in September and October, it oftentimes isn't what you see in late February and March, and you have to redo it. And gosh, I can't tell you how many times I heard Carson Brumbaugh is going to be fantastic, and now he's throwing in the bullpen, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, and he's maybe the last guy out of that bullpen.
Yeah, well, he's not ready. Yeah.
But when I look at this tells you what's going on with the lineup here. There's a sheet of paper on the daily stat pack that Arkansas Baseball makes available for those in the media. It's the 21st page, and it shows you every spot in the lineup that everybody's batted, lead off all the way through 9th. You can't even fit the 9th spot on that page. All you can see is 1 through 8, because that's how many different batters have been in all those different spots in the lineup. You've had 10 different 8 hitters, 9 different 7 hitters, 7 different 6 hitters. There's like 8 different 5 hitters. There's every single spot of the lineup except for 2 has had at least 4 different batters start in that spot. And for them to be winning 5 in a row right now with that sort of, Yahtzee with the lineup card is kind of crazy. We got a break. We'll wrap up hour number 2 after this.
Over half this signing class came from the state of Arkansas. Let me say that again. Over half this high school signing class came from the state of Arkansas.
This is halftime.
Hey everybody, Zachary Hall here, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. If you have not stopped by the Jam Mart in Fort Smith on Phoenix Avenue, you're missing out. They have a brand new hot case in there. They serve breakfast, they serve lunch, they serve dinner. My personal favorite is the chicken strips and potato wedges. They also serve cheeseburgers as well. They have all sorts of options that you don't want to miss. Be sure to stop by and see your local Jam Mart, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith today. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please. Mustard or ketchup?
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Are there still places Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets haven't been? Sure, but the inside of a Crunchwrap slider is no longer one of them. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. All white meat chicken nuggets where only we could put them. Inside a slider-sized Crunchwrap. And the dipping sauce, it's along for the ride. On the inside. Choose from creamy chipotle or jalapeno honey mustard. The new crispy chicken Crunchwrap slider. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Do you love fireworks? What if you could get paid to shoot them? J&M Displays is looking for part-time fireworks shooters to help put on incredible shows across Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. They'll provide free training, great daily pay, and a front row seat to some of the biggest fireworks shows of the region. And there's nothing like hearing the crowd cheer after a show you helped create. Ready to light up the night and your future? Go to jnmdisplays.com and click the Join the Team tab to get started today. J&M Displays, where the sky is the limit.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
You don't just maintain your land, you master it. And at Sutherland's, we've got the steel to help you do it. Experience the brute force of a bad boy mower. These mowers turn a weekend chore into a victory lap. But every great machine needs a home. Our Sutherland's custom barns are built to last. Call 1-800-66-BARNS. Sutherland's, with 4 stores in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart, and online at Sutherlands.com. No matter the project, we're here to help, because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years, since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Oh, girl, feel my electric heartache. I don't deserve you. You can pinch my eyeball.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, John Calipari is operating in the shadows. Mark Pope, I don't think, is very much. Nobody had heard anything about a visit or a potential signing from either Jeremiah Wilkinson or Cooper Bowser, but you got both of them. And then there's a series of players that have been visiting Kentucky that are not signing with Kentucky. Rob Wright, a BYU shooting guard, visited. He decided to go back to BYU. Magoon Gawath, a 7-foot sophomore from San Diego State, visited, and he is now committed to DePaul. And then there's Tyrone Stokes, I
saw him play in the McDonald's All-American game.
Top level recruit. He's visited too. He is not committed. It's between Kentucky and Kansas, and that's what I mean. It's like, so Cal is operating quietly. We don't know who's visiting. We don't know where they're going or who that is that they're talking to, but the Kentucky fans have a sense of everything that's happening here, and they're not getting any of those players. And they're holding on to I think they don't have any fingernails left, Matt. They're just going to chip away at those things until they get a couple of players.
I think it's kind of funny. Kentucky will bounce back. They'll be fine. What's the old saying? You don't want to be the guy that follows the legend. You want to be the guy that follows the guy that followed the legend. So, we were talking before the show, give it another year, Billy Donovan, next head ball coach at Kentucky. Doesn't that kind of sound like that would be? So, yeah, it's who knows who'll be the next coach there. They'll bounce back and figure it out.
Yeah, be the guy who followed Billy Gillespie, not the guy that followed Tubby Smith. Right?
Maybe Rick Pitino goes back. You never know.
Well, I saw a tweet from Pitino today he says, you want to know what I think about the transfer portal? Let me open this up here. He says, what do I think of the portal? I'm sitting outside at 11:30 at night with two of my coaches on a cement curb in front of the Regency on 60th Street watching game film on my phone. A new prospect is looming, and two facepalm emojis. So that's what Rick Pitino, he's watching basketball sitting on a cement curb in Manhattan because there's a new prospect that he wants to potentially sign. Actually sounds like a pretty decent life, doesn't it?
Well, he can order any bottle of wine he wants from any of those restaurants. He's got the coins. Hey, I think he fits in. He's not signing any high school players. I think he likes the older players.
I do like that both these cats, the two gets that he's gotten, they were both playing 30 minutes a game for their team. I mean, they played, and they weren't hurt last year. They played a lot. I like that.
Looks like Dudley is available, so if we want to give him a call, we can get to him in the next segment. Let's do that. So we'll try Dudley Dawson back, get into more of the basketball portal and baseball, of course. I got some halftime homework to assign to our friend the unit, and anything else we can dream up. 877-377-6963 to call us or text us for the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we will be right back.
Have you been waiting months, even years, to buy a new vehicle? Were the rates too high? No incentives to get the payment low enough? Thanks to Orr Chevrolet and Fort Smith, the wait is over with deals like these. $12,000 off Silverados, 1.9% on Equinox, and 2.9% on Trax. Now is the perfect time to get into your next vehicle. And don't forget, Orr Chevrolet and Fort Smith always gives the most trade-in value around. Don't hesitate. Get more with Orr Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
You always get more.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their ham-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, the best chance of showers and thunderstorms will be across the north. Our high temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80. Showers and occasional storms tonight, and overnight low in the low 60s. And then we will see a chance of showers, a few scattered storms on Thursday, a high just over 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
One Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back to Halftime. It's 1:01 in the afternoon. ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. Phil Olsen with Matt Jones and Hall of Famer and Emmy Award winner Clay Henry joining us here. A lot of basketball, a little bit of baseball talk, not even any tax day talk, too. I'm doing the extension for the first time in my life. Mom still works as a working CPA, and she has started a brand new job, and it was too intense to be able to get my taxes done, so I've extended it a little bit, but that's all right. Did you get yours done, guys? Matt, Clay?
That's why I came to Northwest Arkansas. My taxes have actually been ready for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, but I was gallivanting around to Michigan and back. That kind of put it back, but I got it taken care of yesterday, and it's a little bit different system. Instead of mailing a check, the IRS, you have to go online and actually make the deposit.
Yeah, I figured that way out a few years ago.
Yeah.
Matt, you always bring up the idea of the state that you're playing in when you're deciding where to sign. So I was reading this piece in The Athletic today about what it's like for a professional. They were looking at baseball players specifically at this time of the year, and I didn't realize that this is how it works. I know that you get taxed differently depending on the city that you play in, but like the amount of documentation that these baseball players talk about getting. They're talking about getting a stack of W-4s that's about half a foot tall, if not taller than that. It's amazing.
Well, every state, and then they're playing on different continents too. Like it's ridiculous. You have a soft opening over in Korea, and then you come back. They play they play all over the place.
So the thing about Korea too, and I remember talking about this with a hitting coach that we had at the Travelers, and he had a job as a hitting coach in Korea, and it was untaxed money. So I wonder when you go. I don't know the
first
situation.
40 grand, I think, is
Okay.
untaxed. Maybe I'm wrong, but what I remember, I think the first 40 grand or up to the first 75 grand or something, they untax it.
Yeah.
What about Canada? Is that they're still playing a game in Canada, right? They're not. Is their baseball team Toronto?
There's Toronto,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't know I don't know exactly how that works. I really don't. I don't know how that works at all. It's a good thing I've got a CPA for my mom.
Well, when guys would go over there and went on tour, and I think it was some expert about Phil Mickelson and the taxes he was paying because he's a California guy, and a lot of golfers moved to Florida for that reason. But he would talk about winning a trophy or winning a tournament or getting a big paycheck in a different country, and I want to say the first 60 or 70 grand is tax free. Yeah,
I'd seen, depending on the state you live, like Spencer Torkelson was an example in this article, first overall pick of the 2020 draft. He was the guy selected right in front of Heston Kjerstad, and because he had established residency in Arizona while he played at Arizona State, that saved him over $800,000 in taxes than he would have had to pay had he had his residency where he's from, which is California. Wow. Dudley Dawson is with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Good afternoon, Dudley. It's great to have you here. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm also an extension guy. I've been doing some of that same gallivanting that my former boss did.
Gallivanting, yeah.
That's a good word right there. You and I
Dudley,
can form a club of extenders.
You're a better gallivanter than I am.
Let's talk some basketball portal here. We've been talking two teams, Arkansas and Kentucky. Arkansas is operating under the radar. I wonder if that has anything to do with Chuck Martin not being on the staff anymore. And they're hitting on guys that it looks like they want. Kentucky, they've got all these guys coming in to visit, and they're not getting any of them.
Yeah, and he just couldn't. Mark Pope wasn't able to get the guy from BYU who was visiting, one of BYU's best players that he had recruited in the first place, but wasn't able to get him at Kentucky. So I thought that was interesting. I do think that the two guys that Arkansas has gotten so far, the transfer portal, are both really good for what I think they expect out of them. Jasper Wilkerson can really take up some of the slack if Malik Thomas stays in the draft, and if not, then you just got a plus thing going on there. And then Colton Browser, I think, is a guy who he's definitely not going to be the 3-point shooter that Trevon Brazile was, but he's of that same vein, and then can run the floor, block some shots, and do a lot of things in that vein. I think you need to go out and still get another aircraft carrier per se, as Coach Sutton used to say back in the day.
Dudley, Mark Pope is a heck of a coach, no question about it. Is this the best job he'll ever have? He just lost a guy. He was at BYU and tries to get him I bet BYU probably has more money to give out than Kentucky. But is Kentucky the best job that Mark Pope ever had?
Well, you would have to think so, unless they take him back at BYU, and I think that guy obviously has done a pretty good job out there now that took over for him. But yeah, I mean, I'm told by Kentucky people, many of whom are my friends, that Kentucky is the best job ever, and nobody would ever leave there to go someplace else. Obviously they're a blue blood and have had a lot of success over the years, but they're hanging by some fringe now in terms of being a blue blood.
Right. I mean, but they're learning what everybody's known for years. You choose to play for the coach. There are some kids that choose to play specifically for the school because they can't imagine playing anywhere else. You choose to play for the coach. The coach is the program. It's not the uniform. It's not the colors. I appreciate all of those who believe that, but this to me is a prime example of you're choosing to play for the coach. It doesn't matter if you're a blue blood or not. You might be recruited by a bunch of blue bloods, and then you're choosing which coach you like the most.
Yeah, the University of Cal is I think, one of the things that they've used, and I do think that it's the friends that I have that are Kentucky fans have been upset that the former Kentucky players are wearing Arkansas shoes, coming to Fayetteville to see Coach and supporting him and all that. And I know from back in the day, from my high school coaches, Bill Keaty, football, and Bill Ozier in basketball, they were two of the best guys. And I was always going to be from Newport, but I was always going to be their guy first.
What are we expecting from from Malik Ewan? Is he going to be back? Do you have any insight on his situation with eligibility? Because we haven't heard anything, and I guess there's a bunch of cryptic posts.
I do watch a lot of Perry Mason, do watch a lot of Matlock, both the old and new series, and they've yet to come across any of the college landscape questions, although they did have a football Perry Mason one time. But once you get involved in the courts, I think that it'd be fantastic if he was able to come back. But do I expect it? No. I think you've got to go out and recruit over him, and if you get him back again, you facilitate it. You take more than the 9 or 10 scholarship players that you were thinking about, and I think as we discussed last week, there's money there if it's for the right people, but they're not just going to throw it at anybody.
Hey, Dudley, how would you prioritize your team if you're looking? What would be the first? Would it be a point guard? Would it be a big guy? What would be kind of your first thing you would look at that you would be wanting to get in the portal?
From what I've seen in the past 2 years, it's got to be a big guy. I mean, you can get to the Sweet 16 with fantastic guards and all that, but we know full well what has happened when they've gone up against teams like Florida and Arizona that have big front lines, they have versatile front lines that can step in and out, that can control the defensive rebounding. I mean, Arkansas was able to get a lot of offensive rebounds, but against the teams that I just mentioned, they were kind of shut out there, and if they weren't hitting, you had what happened in those two games. So I think the priority has to be a big guy more than Colton Browser. I mean, I think you've got to go get somebody, and it's got to be able to get you a bucket down low, much like Hastings and Klein and all those guys did back in the day. You may want a little bit more athleticism, and yes, I'm talking about you, Joe Klein. But you get a bucket downstairs, down, in low, and you need that still in this game.
Dudley, I mean, Cal talked about it. He says, without a low post presence, you're a fraud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's direct quote. I paraphrase probably, but that's his
direct
quote.
paraphrase.
Direct paraphrase.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's important.
I agree with you.
Certainly, the game has changed since Coach Sutton and Coach Richardson, but with the 3-point and the way that people like Auburn just throw them willy-nilly out there. But I think that you still have to have the ability not only to get a basket down low, but to throw it inside to them and be able to get your shooters better shots when the defense, drops back.
Well, the 94 teams and 95 teams were loaded with good big men. Loaded.
Absolutely, and they didn't have to. Darnell and Lee Wilson didn't have to score as much. They played defense, got rebounds, scored when the layups were there, and got the ball back out to the shooters.
Played 20 minutes. Yeah, didn't have to play 40. Yeah.
So you're not paying $4 million for a center. We know that. What are you paying for? What are you paying for this big man that you say the team needs, Dudley? What do you think it's worth?
For the right one, you're paying 3. I mean, that's the going rate these days. I mean, if there's probably a level of that gets you to 2.5 and 2, but I think if you want to get to the promised land, you better go find you somebody for 3. And there's certainly a lot out there, but everybody's trying to get them as well. I mean, I saw one kid's visit. His talking about taking 8 visits. I'm sure he'll figure out that you can't do that. But he's got 8 different schools he's looking at, Arkansas being one of them. And then you've got the not even going to try to say his name, but the guy who's been playing in the Europe Pro League that has great athleticism that Arkansas is in on now. He would get $3 million from me.
What about the kid? Wasn't there a kid that redshirted last year that's a Euro that's coming back? Is he counting on one of the 4 that we're talking about getting depth there?
Yeah, I think so. Now he is a guy that I think that just redshirted this year to get stronger and all that, and we'll see what comes out. But he was rated as one of the top 50 guys in the country, but that was on potential, not what he was doing. And
have you seen him play? Has anybody?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen him play either.
Absolutely not.
You believe what you saw from baseball last week, Dudley, or do you need to see a series win here against Georgia at home?
I think you need to do that as well to say you're fully back. But I do believe that, and I loved the post game thing that the university put out on their X site that had Coach Van Horn saying there was a lot of chit chat, which is a way of saying y'all were getting a lot of criticism, we were getting a lot of criticism, and they came out and answered it. And I mean, you go to you know this. You've done so much baseball, and I love baseball. I got 3 games on in my office right now. But when you see something at the ballpark on the weekends that you never did, a team rallies in the 8th inning every game. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Did the Cardinals do some of that last night too? Right?
Yeah, did it. Well, poor Ryan Stanek. He's having a tough time. He gave up 3 runs in the 9th, but then J.J. Weatherholt hit another home run, and they tied it in the 9th and then won it in the 10th. And my only goal is my beautiful wife Petra knows, is for them to stay over 500 this year.
I need the Pirates to finish ahead of the Cardinals. 500 would be fine for me.
Have you seen the standings, man? What's going on?
I know. It's April 15th. I'm a little more worried about my taxes than I am the National League Central standings just yet. But let's talk in 2 months, Dudley. We'll see what happens then, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll make a date out of it here on this very show. Will that work for you?
In Omaha.
All right. So, whoa, even better, because that's right. In a couple of months, it will be Omaha time. I like your thought process. That's Dudley Dawson joining us here on Halftime. You can do the same. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open, 877-377-6963. Make sure you check out Roback.com. You want to look at all the great new upgrades in the University of Arkansas Game Day collection at Roback. Just type it in, RHOBACK.com, Roback.com. You'll find all brand new Arkansas hoodies, polos, Q-zips selling fast, and 20% off your first order if you use the code RUSH26 at checkout. That's Roback, where action meets comfort. Back in a moment with more Halftime.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
From sauce to dust to nuggets. Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. No, they don't come in mild. That would make like 0 sense with the name. Or the whole explosion thing we just did. New Diablo dusted crispy chicken nuggets. A brand new classic. Only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Us.
Get down. Paid the cost to be the boss. Paid the cost to be the boss. Paid the cost to be the boss. Look at me. You know what to see. See a bad mother. Look at me. You know what to see. See a bad.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend, Matt Jones.
And this really is a way to tie together the halftime playlist with some halftime homework here, Matt Jones and Clay Henry. Real quick, Christian Unit Johnston, the Ed McMahon do-over back there. Who did you just play? Who is that?
James Brown.
James Brown. Have you listened to much James Brown in your lifetime?
I've probably heard a couple songs.
A couple songs. Would one of them be Sex Machine and the second one would be this one? Or was it I Feel Good? Was those the two songs?
I Feel Good, yeah. I know that one.
Payback. You probably know his Payback song.
I think you've played the Payback before.
Yeah.
We need to get you to listen to Funky President.
Funky President.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to listen to some James Brown today. It's don't view it as an assignment because everybody needs to listen to James Brown for at least a chunk of your life. It's going to make you happy, okay? And it's not like you're sad or upset or anything, but it'll make you happy. It'll make you smile.
Okay, I'm gonna argue with you a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Do not listen to James Brown. Watch him.
Yeah. Good point. That's
You're
a very
gonna have
good
to do
point.
video because the listening to it is 1/3 of what he did. He was breakdancing before breakdancing was a thing.
He was just calling it doing my thing.
Yeah, he sang and broke it down. And that brings me to another point. My favorite North Side Grizzly, sorry, Matt, was Gary Sweet Pea White. Gary ain't white. That's his nickname. Just love him. That's what he goes by.
That's funny too, because
he ain't white.
Well, Carlos James was on the broadcast last night for UAPB. He used to be the UAPB baseball coach, and the starting pitcher for UAPB's last name is James. And I didn't know who he is. I've never seen him before. So I asked Carlos. I said, "Is there any relation with you and the pitcher?" And he looked at me. He says, "The moment you see him on the mound, you'll be able to tell there's no relation."
There's no relation. So, Coach Broyles, Bill Stansel, who was the football coach at Northside, maybe the athletic director too, touted Coach Broyles on Sweet Pea, and he was the first Razorback mascot in a suit, and he breakdanced, and it was James Brown in a suit, pig suit.
There's some Razorback mascot trivia got thrown into this too.
Gary ain't white.
That's great. Well, all right, we'll pick out a specific. Matt, can you pick out a specific album for the unit to listen to later tonight?
James Brown?
Yeah. Well, it's an album, but he's got to watch too on YouTube, and then you've got to watch. Then you've got to see. Here's what you really need to see. You need to see, and I forget where this was, but Eddie Murphy is doing the James Brown impression on stage with the music behind him, and James is there watching him. Nobody did a James Brown impression better than Eddie Murphy, so I think you need to watch a real James Brown performance and then watch Murphy's imitation of him, because it was literally one of the most perfect comedy routines that's ever been made.
So James Brown would do the splits, and while he's in the splits, would rise back up.
And then you've got to do the splits too, unit. All right,
and rise back
Be
up.
the hardest working man in radio. You'll have
Yeah.
Matt walk behind you with a robe, and he'll kind of place it on your shoulders,
I won't
and
be
then
able
you
to
just
get back up.
No, you won't. But Matt will lift you up slowly and then drag you out of the studio and put you in an ambulance to take you to the hospital.
Tear an ACL. I've already done that. That sucks.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, none of us have. Well, Matt may have the athletic ability to do that, the splits, and then just pop back up, pop out of them.
Oh, I'm so excited
James
for
Brown.
you, unit.
Yep.
I'm so excited because I mean I'll listen to James Brown every once in a while when I'm in the car and I need something that's going to keep me awake, because if you can't stay awake and it's 2 a.m. and you're driving around and you're listening to the Payback, I don't even think your blood's not pumping. So Matt will assign you the album, and then you got to watch him on YouTube, and then it's the Eddie Murphy routine. It won't take too long, and it'll make you happy.
You will enjoy it.
Guaranteed,
Dynamic.
you will enjoy it. Daryl West, what about the James Brown song from the Rocky movie? That was Living in America, which of course Weird Al turned into Living with a Hernia. But yeah, Living in America. I don't think that was on any of his albums though. That was just on the Rocky IV soundtrack. Chris says, watch the TAMI performance of James Brown. I don't even know what TAMI is. And keep in mind the Rolling Stones had to follow him after that. And, oh, yeah, you can watch the James Brown Celebrity Hot Tub bit on SNL. That was Eddie Murphy. I think that was the first time
Eddie Murphy.
That was the first time he ever did the James Brown imitation. It was the Celebrity Hot Tub. No, I don't even want to do it.
Eddie Murphy had the hair.
Oh, boy, did he ever.
Yep.
No, B.E. Ray Gunn is not the greatest breakdancer of all time. Sorry.
No.
Even though she didn't get the gold medal. I think she actually got kicked out of breakdancing.
James Brown, he was a breakdancer, just wasn't called that then.
Our halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. You can get expert installation in as little as 1 day at Bath Makeover of Arkansas. They are an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics and the largest bathroom remodeler in all of Arkansas. American-made bathtubs, showers, and walk-in tubs. The tub-to-shower conversion is a popular choice. Easy access, features revolutionary laser-etch shower walls that offer the look of tile without all the maintenance, and customized with grab bars and comfortable seating, shower doors, fixtures in chrome, brushed nickel, oil-rubbed bronze, and black. Takes as little as 1 day with expert installation. Get a lifetime product warranty, 5-year workmanship warranty, and they're also looking for 30 homes now to participate in the Spring and a Savings event. You get half off installation of a new bathtub or shower. Make sure you ask about 0% financing options for senior and military discounts as well. That's Bath Makeover AR to learn more. And we'll be back with more halftime right after this.
This is halftime.
Hey, it's Phil Elson for Bath Makeover of Arkansas, now seeking skilled craftsmen. Bath Makeover is hiring the natural state's best plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to keep up with high demand. If you're ready for steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas wants to talk to you. Bath Makeover's commercial division is growing as well, installing over 100 bathrooms a month, knocking out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for experienced, qualified, skilled craftsmen to join their talented team. To learn more about job opportunities, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers. Visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
State sales tax paid plus free gas all summer long on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot at Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
You know, Tommy, we serve a big area here, and there's people that come from all over. We're a family-owned dealership, been here for a long time. We serve areas like Mena, Waldron, Greenland, Farmington, Salisaw, Muldrow, Weber Falls. There's all kinds of people that come here to buy cars, and we do state sales tax paid, and we're paying for your gas all summer. Guys, it's time to come see us. Come out and check us out.
Gas is high, $3.50 a gallon, higher than that for diesel. Free gas all summer.
I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, right now, we're trying to do business out here. We've got a ton of used cars in stock, free gas, free diesel. Rebates are high. Interest rates are low. There's not a better time to buy than right now. Come see us.
And your selection is great.
Oh, man, I got a great selection. I've got lifted trucks, lowered trucks, got Jeeps. I got brand new Yukons, Acadias, trucks with huge rebates. Come out and come see me, guys.
State sales tax paid and free gas all summer long. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris George from Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville. You need a jeweler you can trust to do all the things that you need, like repairs or custom work or one-of-a-kind treasures, spring gift occasions. We have affordable gifts for every need. Quality natural diamonds, beautiful lab-grown diamonds, silver and natural stones, chains, necklaces, rings, whatever you need. Come see us at Joshua's Fine Jewelry in beautiful downtown Russellville.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Naughty girl, don't hurt me like this anymore. I'm waiting right outside your door, saying, baby, can we talk?
bit boy. You keep on begging, but I won't let you in. You keep on crying, but you know what you did. I'll never let you back in. So go away, go away.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Still getting texts from people asking what was wrong with the field yesterday. Dickie Stevens, I brought it up in the first hour. Just mention it again. The field's always bad. The Hogs played a baseball game there on brown grass once in March. That's why they don't play there in March anymore, because they want to play on green grass. So at least the grass was green. It's just there was a little less of it than there should have been with all those patches and pockmarks and everything. Yeah, no, nobody took a golf club to it. Sergio didn't break his 8-iron, out there in the outfield or anything. It's an unfortunate tradition of the Travelers that you just don't have a good field. Even with a new ballpark, that when they built that ballpark, they had the White Sox groundskeeper come in, and he built the field to his specs. Overseeded with ryegrass too much, it choked out all the grass, and we were playing on green dirt by the middle of that season. So, I mean, that was the first year of that ballpark. They've always had a bad field.
Delicate balance as far as baseball goes and how you want to do fields. And obviously Arkansas overseeds, so they've got green grass and they're putting seed out there the whole spring. But minor league baseball in Little Rock, Bermuda grass will be the dominant thing they play on, in the next 3 months, and they don't really want to spend any money overseeding.
That's right. So hey, it's just part of an unfortunate tradition there. So you're supposed to, you'll if you stick around when the game's over at Ball and Walker, and you'll see the grounds crew working on the pitcher's mound and working on the plate, and they'll tamp down all that clay because it gets worked around and moved around by the batters and the pitchers and their cleats and everything. But you got to use one of those tamp tools. I saw at Ray Winder Field, and maybe even at Dickie Stevens a long time ago, instead of using the tamp tool, they drove a tractor on the pitcher's mound to tamp it, quote unquote, tamp it down. But all that did is flatten the mound. So, again, it's an unfortunate tradition of Travelers baseball that hopefully doesn't continue. But Razorback baseball at that ballpark will continue. And that's the reason why they didn't do infield, outfield last night. And I don't even remember seeing, when the guys were hitting, I don't remember anybody taking ground balls like they usually would on a good field, because why would you take ground balls on an infield where you very well could end up getting smacked in the face by a bad hop? And you got to play the game, but I wouldn't be taking ground balls in that field either.
So it really is a thing that they could lose their franchise, right?
There's some case to it. It could end up being Major League Baseball takes the affiliation away, but because it's the ownership that owns 38 different teams, and they already have this great relationship with Major League Baseball, the feeling is that the agreement may take to the end of the season, and that the ownership will get a little leeway and be able to continue for another year in the current ballpark state, and then sign a lease, and the team will end up funding all the changes they have to do to the ballpark. That's what I heard yesterday, because I sat there and talked with some people like, hey, let's not lose the team. And they put my concerns they eased my concerns a little bit,
Good.
At least a little bit.
Because I have the same concerns. It just, my background with the Travelers. Unfortunately, I'm one of the probably many that has stock that didn't know that you could have cashed in your stock.
I guess I could have let you know, but I guess I thought they were. I didn't know you had ownership. I didn't know you had stock.
I've got 4 shares. There's a certificate. I'll send you the picture, and we'll see if it's legit. But my dad bought it from Ray Winder. 4 shares in 1959 when they had a fundraising deal. And I have 3 brothers, and we all have 4 shares each.
I had 5 shares, and I did sell them because they sent me a letter.
Sold.
They sent me a letter.
They didn't know where I was. Yeah.
I didn't look at it as an investment when I put $25 into those 5 shares of stock, but it turned out to be a little bit of an investment.
I think mine was a $20 bill for 4 shares.
I had to remember that goes in my taxes for this year. Like they're like, hey, I got that money from that disbursement from the sale of the Travelers. I got to remind. I got to pay taxes on that.
What'd you do with that money, Phil? I mean, will you share?
Spend it all on bubble gum and baseball cards.
You did?
And video games.
Mario World.
Well, we did get Mario World a couple days ago. Matt always talks about Mario.
Co-op. It is. It's one of the best co-op games ever.
Yeah, did it. So that's what we did last night. I got back from the baseball game. My son and I sat there on the couch, and he beat me 3 out of 4 races. But I finally beat him in 1 race. It's supposed to be the other way around, Matt. The son is never supposed to beat the father. Like I could never beat my dad at one-on-one basketball ever. He's got like 4 inches on me.
Your
that may be one
pretty
reason
athletic. So when you think about his athletic arc, that's a very unusual arc. Not a lot of guys have that arc right there.
A career,
man. His prime was lit, man.
How do you have your dental peak and your athletic peak occur at the same time? Because Charlie Liggett, he had his athletic peak occur before the dental peak. My dad's got the 2 things going on at the exact same time. That's unicorn stuff.
So Matt, you played one-on-one against your dad basketball?
Clay, growing up, Pops is a coach, going to the gym all the time. I think 7th grade was the last time he played me, and after later on, because it was just he knew, I never beat my dad. But he didn't play me again after the 7th grade.
I think that was pretty smart.
Yeah, that's when he stopped playing me. So
know how to schedule your opponents.
I never beat him one-on-one because he stopped playing. That's right.
My dad and I, we weren't really. Golf is you can't do anything to stop the other guy. That's obvious, right? You're playing the course. You're not playing a person. Now you have matches, but we're playing. I'm 16, and I'm just learning still. I got pretty good the next year when I was 17. I really got into it. But I shot like down at Old Riverdale Golf Course, which is right. It doesn't exist anymore. My uncle was pro, my dad's brother. And I shot 82 and he shot 84. And I didn't really realize that we were playing. I was just out there playing the course. He goes, well, you beat me. He goes, that'll be the last time it's competitive. I was like, well, no. And he goes, I'm going to go one way and you're going to go the other way. And that was true. Never was close again.
Never had one of those moments with my dad, guys, because we never played baseball against each other. Even though he's a pitcher and I could have hit against him, I was always his catcher. But then when we played one-on-one basketball, my dad was good at like some of those old man moves in the paint.
And the strength.
Well, and he was also really good at dipping a shoulder and then shoving that shoulder into my chin and bloodying my face a little bit. So I think he wanted to teach me a lesson too.
So my dad was the head football coach at Mountain Pine, right? This is like early 90s. And they did a student versus the coaches versus the teachers basketball game. And there was no way that the kids all think they're going to beat the coaches, but there was no way. Yeah.
They took you inside, didn't they, Matt?
I was it's one of the, when you see your pops play, I don't know, I must have been 7 watching them go, the Mountain Pine coaches versus the students, and there was definitely you could tell by 3 minutes in the game who was going to win that one.
We played volleyball against the teachers like in 7th grade. It was so funny because those teachers, they unleashed every frustration they had against the students on that volleyball.
It's just a game, Fokker.
It was hilarious. Like looking back on it, it's one of the funniest things I could ever. That should have been a movie.
Have Wilson imprinted on your forehead.
That's right.
So when I was in the 9th grade, we had Pulaski Heights Junior High. They had a faculty student game. Basically, it's the basketball team played the coaches, and Woody Jolly was our head football coach, and he dunked on us. It wasn't close either, Matt.
There was a coach in the Mountain Pine. Yeah, but I think my pops had the first 2 points, a little jump shot, but there was a coach in that game I remember that dunked on the kids as well. There's always that coach. Yeah,
he dunked on us, and we looked as like, okay, we can swat the net. That's how tall we were.
Gotta get a father-son game at some point here. 877-377-6963, the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We had a text in from Steve. Wanted an update on Carson Wiggins. I brought it up yesterday. Wiggins I think he's going to start pitching for the team in early May. That seems to be the timeline. So you're not going to rush him back, but he'll be there, and I think he'll be a guy that throws out of the pen initially, an inning to 2 innings, depending on what his pitch count is, and then it just gradually increases week by week until you're in a regional. And by then, maybe he's got enough pitches built up to give you 4 or 5, and maybe he's a starter then. So, and wants to know about Peyton Paulette's time at Arkansas. Peyton Paulette, I feel like he's like Jackson Wiggins. Like, you didn't see him at his best because of the injury. He would have been the ace in the 2022 team, but he got hurt and missed the season. So, a great curveball. He was a really good competitor, really good dude. I always like talking with him. So, to see he's got this role now as the Rule 5 pick for Cleveland. And that usually means when you're the Rule 5 pick, you're one of the, if not the, youngest player on the team. And there's a financial incentive for the team to keep you on the big league roster, even if you stink. But a lot of times that Rule 5 pick is the last guy in the pen, and it looks like he's pitching in some big moments. I think Paulette has that kind of stuff and that kind of mentality to get to the big leagues quicker than expected. And stick, because we're waiting for the next guy to stick, and he could be that guy. All right, so thanks for the baseball question. I just knocked a mouse over. I'm destroying things left and right here, man.
Okay, get out of here, mouse.
Got a computer screen that was destroyed by the Alabama Athletic Department. Got a mouse that I just knocked over. Thankfully, it didn't shatter into more than 2 pieces.
A little treat for a little Jerry Seinfeld.
Man. It's too much packing and unpacking on a daily basis. Like, you realize how many different times it's not just clothing and everything. I mean, I'll pack my clothes for a trip to Fayetteville that starts tomorrow, but it's the computer, it's the radio equipment. Like, every single day, I've got 86 little small things to remember to throw into a bag. And Matt, I can't even remember. I can't even remember the things we were talking about in the first hour today.
You make it look easy. That's for sure. You got to watch the movie Up in the Air. You got to watch that. That's you.
Yeah, man. But what that's going to make me feel is that my job's going to disappear at some point.
Well,
like Clooney's job.
That's true, but they have to send him out there, and he says, "Mail me a postcard if you ever get there." So maybe you're in that state right now.
Well, that would also finally reach the goal that my grandmother had, where I would actually be George Clooney instead of just looking like George Clooney.
Then you would get to sit on a plane with Sam Elliott. That's how the movie ends. Who doesn't want to sit on the plane with Sam Elliott?
I just want to sit up at a bar with Sam Elliott. Yeah, I just want to sarsaparilla and
why do you got to use so many curse words?
And to go tell the Jesus guy to get off my back a little bit here, pretty please. Wow, did we just do you get a couple guys going on movie quotes. You could get a whole 3-hour show out of that thing. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Shane asked about any of the big-time players. Women's basketball is trying to land. Yeah, I saw a little piece in a Whole Hog today about some of the players that are coming through that they're having visits. So and other targets from Power 4 schools. Kanaya Boyd coming in to visit from Tennessee. One of 5 players coming in to give a visit. Here's beautiful Wahid, who is a guard from St. John's who averaged 9 points a game. DeAsia Thomas Harris played at Georgia Tech. Maiana Coney from Miami. And you know what? All of these players, for the most part, looked like they were death pieces where they were.
Well, St. John's averaging 9 points a game. That's like averaging 17 somewhere else. So, you got to take kind of in count the type of – but I like it. If you can get a guard from St. John's, I bet they're older and they're physical and they know how to play defense.
Well, now here's the kind of player that they really need. It's a Destiny Thomas, 6'4" from Jonesboro, played at Cincinnati. 5 points, 5 rebounds a game, 65% from the field, 29 games, 19 minutes. The fact that she's 6'4" to me and played in the Big 12,
bring her on.
You got to bring somebody like that on. I've never seen her play before. but they have to get bigger and even not just bigger, but more athletic amongst the bigs, because you didn't have that. You didn't have the size or the athleticism for those bigs this last year.
Just that's the way it's been for a while, Phil. It's not just last year. Just the physical presence has been missing in women's basketball. And they get beat up.
Hey, Unit's going to be listening to which James Brown album? Did we settle on one or two, or which ones?
The Super Bad album's only 6 songs, and then I was thinking the Payback as well. So it's not even 12. I mean, it's early stuff, 71, 73. If we're going to delve into something, those 2 albums, I'd say.
And then at least one YouTube video.
Yes, like exactly what Clay. Yeah.
Can't wait to get his report tomorrow for halftime homework, which is brought to you by Flyway Brewing Company. If you're looking for a great weekday lunch spot in Fayetteville or a place to host a lunch meeting that will impress, there's a fantastic lunch menu, plenty of space for private dining at Flyway Brewing Company. And, of course, it's not Flyway without fresh beer, cold, crisp, and ready when the workday wraps up. If you got a game you want to watch, they have big screens. You won't miss a minute of it. Great food, fresh beer, all the action at Flyway Brewing Company in Fayetteville on Zion Road. Make it your next stop. We will stop halftime when we come back and wrap up the show. Stay with us.
I like these guys. They're funny guys.
This is halftime.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Todd Richardson. We're here at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue, downtown Fort Smith with Rachel. Rachel, tell our audience why we love coming here on Thursday.
We have a great crowd, great sports, buckets for 15, good vibes, good atmosphere. Can't beat it.
Rachel, we're here every Thursday. Do you ever get tired of it?
You have your times, but you keep coming back, so we put up with you.
Well, we appreciate it. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. It's Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. What do we always say?
It's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith.
Perhaps the world.
Okay, team. Huddle up.
Why are you dressed like a hockey player?
Because America's energy security is on thin ice. We're facing an overburdened electric grid, rising fuel costs, and severe weather. But here's your power play. Propane. It's affordable, abundant, safe. Propane is reliable energy, even when the grid isn't. Advantage Propane.
Learn more at propane.com/powerplay.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
The spring allergy and hay fever seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely take care of you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all of the over-the-counter allergy remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointment for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind the Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
Spring is in the air, and the fish are biting, the gobblers are strutting, and the trees are blooming. Jelco Outdoors, your locally owned one-stop shop, is ready to help you get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Stop by and let our friendly staff help you get the gear you need. Jelco Outdoors, your store for hunt, fish, and work. That's what we do. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Lewis Automotive, celebrating over 80 years since 1946. No pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The challenge is over, but the deals aren't. Come take advantage of the thank you event only at Lewis Automotive.
Putting on a drum show. Completed checklist for today. Now they have to let you out of here. Feeling stuck between a work and a home. Two places you do not want to go. So. He's putting on a drum show.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, tomorrow on halftime for Thursday, batter up with Bubba Carpenter, and we'll talk with Brett Dolan. Friday will be James Teague, Aaron Torres, and Neil Atkinson. Our weekly lineup of guests is brought to you by Swift's Jewelry in Fayetteville, right next to Hugo's on the town square and Block Avenue, right where they've been since 1956 as a trusted name. If you're popping the question or celebrating an anniversary, looking for something special, Swift's is the place to go, specializing in custom jewelry, engagement rings, and also offer expert watch repair that keeps you on time. Swift's Jewelry, celebrating life's biggest moments. Wrapping things up here along with Clay Henry. Football practice yesterday. Clay, did you say you had a moment? You had a chance to sit and speak a little bit with Coach Silverfield?
No, just in passing. He came by to say hi. He knew I was there. I'd gotten permission from him to watch the whole practice. Usually the media is just going to see a little portion of it. I'll probably write something tomorrow. But I'm with Kyle Parkinson. He knew I was there, and he kind of swung by there during part of the practice. I watched him a lot, and that's part of what you want to do. Is you're trying to figure things out. What's his role in practice? And he's not calling plays. But he knows what plays are being called. He's been in all the prep. But where I really saw him dive in was in the individual part of practice, the individual drills, and he's going to hit all of the stations and be aware of what's going on, and he's aware of the detail of the technique, which is what I want to see with a head coach. For instance, Danny Ford, he didn't know technique. He was just a CEO. Coach Burrell's knew technique. I'm talking about both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. And I thought Lou Holtz definitely knew technique. Jack Crow, he didn't know anything about defensive technique. He wasn't involved in that. I think Sam knew run offensive line technique, but I don't think he was aware of technique in other areas too much. Might be wrong. But I think this head coach knows what techniques he wants his coaches to teach, and he holds them accountable, which I saw some of that. I was told that that's the way he was, and I was interested to kind of see that, and I think it's a positive. I think he's accountability and detail. I think that's what I want from the head coach.
Well, something to definitely hit on after the next practice to get a chance to visit. Great stuff today, guys. Matt, hope you enjoyed the Champions League match. And if you missed anything on the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast, it's coming out shortly thanks to the unit. Clay, hope you have a great rest of the week. We'll visit next week, all right?
Look forward to it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ruskin and Zach are standing by, and they'll take you for the next few hours here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. For Matt Jones, for Clay, and for the unit, I'm Phil. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Wednesday.